Good day, ladies and gentlemen. So right now I'm trading gold, and I was analyzing the chart last night, and I realized that a very solid supply zone formed on gold. Okay, so this is where the supply zone formed. All right, and I decided to take advantage of it. The zone was so strong, to the point that I had to actually trade it, because I don't trade gold often, but I was just analyzing the major pairs. XauUsd, analyzed it. I analyzed USD card, analyzed GBP USD. But when I saw this, I knew it was going to work because it was fresh. Okay, this is a fresh zone, and one of the videos I posted yesterday, I talked about rally, base, drop. So this is a rally, a base, and a drop. Though the drop was not a direct drop, it was giving us lower highs and lower lows in the downtrend fashion. So there are two confluences that actually came together here. One is the rally base drop kind of system, while the other one is the pivots kind of supply zone. I explained it. In fact, this is more like the pivot kind of supply zone. Okay, but there's also elements of rally base drop in it. All right, so for the pivot kind of supply zone, there's a video I did where I talked about turning points. So the pivots of a turning point, if you can mark out the boundary, most times it's going to work as a zone to bounce price off. Okay, so let me zoom in and explain that a little bit more. You can see that price was giving us higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, like uptrend formation. Then at this point started giving us downtrend formation. So that means around here there's a pivot point where price turned around. So we want to look for that candle that stands as the pivot. Let me zoom in and show you the candle. So this is the candle that acts as the pivot. This particular candle right here, let me point at it. This one right here, because it was after this one, after that candle that looks like an indecision candle, like a doji. It was after that candle that price started moving downwards. Okay, so that candle gives us a pivot, and I marked out the boundary with the red lines. Let me move it. It's supposed to be here. Okay, but I didn't want to put it there so that you can see the difference between the red line and the blue line. So this is where it's supposed to be, but I just dropped it a bit and left it here. Okay, so that is the boundary of the pivots. Definitely when price comes back into that pivot point, it's supposed to give us a sell trade. Okay, so we're waiting for price to come back excuse me, and give us a sell trade. But what made me take this trade is I noticed that price has not entered that pivot level. Okay, price has not entered there before, so it's fresh, meaning that when price comes back there, I'm expecting a sell trade. So that's one confluence. The second one is this base, rally base drop. There is a base around here which I marked out with these blue lines. Okay, anytime you see price struggling or consolidating, giving you a tight range like this is a tight range, a very tight range. So you have like 6 sideways candles. The candles shouldn't be too big, it should be like small candles. When you train your eyes to see it, it will become easier for you to see. Okay, you can see there are like 6 candles here, or more than 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking at these candles in here. You will notice that the indecision is such that the candle is not moving upwards, neither is it moving downwards, it's just moving sideways. So it's more like a base. So once it's forming the base like that, and then price decides to move in a particular direction, just know that when price comes back to that level again, it will move in that same direction again. That's the idea. So I marked out the tight range with blue lines. You can see blue lines mark out the tight range, and that will give us a supply zone. So I'm expecting price to come back here and give me a supply zone. So what happened? Price tapped into it right here, tapped into the blue this thing right here, but it has not entered the red parts. Okay, so the red part is still fresh. and then we had a sell trade from there. Okay, let me zoom out a bit. We had a sell trade from there, and we are going to cross. Price almost entered the blue again, but did not, so it's still fresh up to that point. It has only tapped into the blue part once. Okay, let's go. All right, so this is a new day. This is today, being Tuesday. Okay, the 9th day of April. So we entered the day after this vertical broken line that you can see right here, and then price came back, tapped into the blue and tapped into the red. So the red is no longer 100% fresh. Okay, the red has been tapped into. All right, it has been tapped into once, and it gave us a sell trade, but I was sleeping when this happened, so I did not take that trade. I saw price coming back there again and tapped into it the second time. So this trade is not a high probability trade. The probability it will bounce from there, it will sell from there, is lower. Okay, but I knew sellers were still there, so I decided to take the trade because the level is very strong. We're having two confluences, the rally base drop and also a turning point pivot, which we sold from. So I decided to sell from there, and as you can see, price has been playing around, and I might just take my profits because it's becoming obvious that price is not going to move too far below. But let me show you the profit I'm running on right now. See, about $200 up there. Alright, so if you got any value, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.